Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of world news on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Some TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Some TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient, and affordable 247 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State.
Welcome to the broadcast of News Hour on Sun TV, the pulse of the nation. You can also follow us on Facebook at Sun TV and on YouTube at Sun TV Live. Now the major headlines. Tinubu declares state of emergency in Rivers State, suspends governor and lawmakers. Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi has joined TikTok, urging supporters to follow his official accounts. ECOWAS warns of looming food crisis that could affect 47 million people in West Africa between June and August 2025 if urgent action is not taken. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has declared a state of emergency in Rivers State due to a prolonged political crisis. In a nationwide broadcast on March 18, 2025, he announced the suspension of Governor Similaye Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, and all members of the Rivers State House of Assembly for 6 months. Citing Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, Tinubu stated that the crisis has hindered governance and necessitated urgent intervention. He referenced the demolition of the Assembly building in December 2023 and the lack of functional legislature as key issues. The declaration aimed to restore order and ensure effective governance in the states. The federal government is set to implement stricter regulation on animal importation by establishing control posts as key border points to monitor livestock movement. Minister of Livestock Development, E.D. Mehai, disclosed this on Tuesday while receiving a delegation from the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine in Abuja. Mehai emphasized that the initiative is aimed to protect public health and the livestock industry, stating that animals without proper health certification would be detained. He also raised concerns over the declining donkey population, warning against unauthorized exports of donkey skin. Highlighting border control lapses, the minister revealed that 60% of cattle entering Nigeria comes from neighboring countries unchecked, contributing to disease outbreaks such as anthrax. To curb this, the government plans to deploy veterinary doctors, security agencies, and the NACS officials to man the new control post. Addressing the rising cost of meat, Maihar attributed it to illegal fee imposed on livestock transporters, citing a government survey that identified over 700 extortion checkpoints along the key roads. Efforts are on the way to remove these barriers and reduce meat price. NAQS Controller General Dr. Vincent Isegbe reaffirmed the agency's commitment to preventing animal diseases and regulating imports. He emphasized ongoing international collaboration and called for stronger ties with the Ministry of Livestock and Development to enhance regulatory oversight. The newly inaugurated chairman of the board of the Specialist Hospital Jalingo, Dr. Aji Saleh, has pledged to enhance healthcare services in the facility. During the familiarization visit, he assessed key areas for improvement in line with Governor Abu Kaifa's directive to strengthen the state's health sector. Some TV correspondents files in the report.
The newly inaugurated chairman of the Board of Specialist Hospital Jalingo, Dr. Aji Saleh, led a familiarization visit to the hospital this morning to assess its current condition and identify key areas for improvement. The visit aligns with the directive of His Excellency, Dr. Abu Kefas, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, to strengthen healthcare services in the state. During the visit, Dr. Saleh highlighted the urgent need for intervention in the hospital to ensure that residents receive high-quality medical care without seeking treatment outside the state. He reaffirmed the board's commitment to revitalizing the facility and improving healthcare delivery. Expressing gratitude to Governor Abu Kefas for the trust placed in him and his team, Dr. Saleh commended the governor's dedication to the health sector, noting that his administration's vision will significantly enhance medical services in Taraba.
In his cabinet and even my members. We were in the hospital this morning on the familiarization tour of the hospital to see things for ourselves, so that we use it as a springing board to use in seeing to improve everything about the hospital, because that means we shall be able to help the people by the time we are on board, because it is of what we see now that we work on to improve the hospital. The hospital is in the shape that needs improvement. There are so many things that we need to put in place to be able to improve it and work effectively with our management team there, so that the people of Taraba will have the benefit of the hospital that is being built for them by the government.
In a significant move to promote decency and co-op social vibes among the youths, the Taraba Youth Roundtable has unveiled a large billboard at the entrance of the Taraba State Polytechnic. The billboard, which calls for the promotion of good conduct, specifically encourages students to shun all unwanted characters on campus and reminds them that the way you are dressed is how you will be addressed. The billboard also highlights the danger of social vice such as drug abuse, cultism, exam malpractice, prostitution, and sex for marks, to urging the youth to steer clear of this detrimental behavior. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor, Honorable Imar George, who represented the state government at the event, expressed the government's continued support for initiatives that enhance the welfare and development of Taraba youth. He emphasized that the project was of great significance to the state government, acknowledging Governor Dr. Abu Kefas of his efforts in introducing free education in the state, which has brought smiles to the faces of many Tarabians. Honorable George reiterates the governor's commitment to fostering a conducive learning environment, citing that 50% reduction in tuition fees for students in tertiary institutions. He further urged all students to refrain from engaging in negative practices such as exam malpractice, drug abuse, and cultism. Ambassador DCB Bala Donga, the conveyor of the Taraba Youth Roundtable, highlighted that this initiative is part of the group's broader community development agenda. He stressed that this was just the beginning and the group aims to extend its outreach to other institutions in the future. Based on the needs and opportunity, Dunga also affirmed that the youth constituency, by the grace of God, will continue to support the governor's positive youth-oriented policies and work in partnership with the state government for the progress of Taraba. The project serves as a reminder that good behavior and decency are values the youth must uphold to contribute positively to the society. The billboard is expected to serve as a long-term tool for encouraging moral behavior among students and fostering a better academic environment in Taraba State. Now we'll move on to Gombe State. In the heart of Gombe State, where the market thrives with sales and fresh tomatoes, pepper and onions, women play a crucial role in sustaining both their families and the local economy. These resilient traders, many of which are widows or wives of struggling breadwinners, wake up before dawn to set up their stalls, ensuring the household across the city have access to essential food items. Among them is Hajara Adamu, known as Maman, have progressed significantly using their earnings to acquire lands, build homes and invest in additional source of income such as purchasing tricycles for transportation. Their success stories reflect the strength and perseverance of Gombe's market women who continue to balance business and family responsibilities. As Sun TV continue to highlight grassroots stories, it is evident that these women are more than just traders. They are key contributors to their household and the economy. Their resilience, combined with community support, reinforce the belief that those who cultivate the land will always have something to invest. Sun TV correspondent files in the report.
Heart of Gombe City, amidst the vibrant hustle of the market, resilient women vendors work tirelessly to sustain their families. From selling fresh tomatoes and pepper to essential onion, these women defy the odds every day, shaping the backbone of the local economy. Behind every basket of produce lies a story of perseverance, determination, and hope. Today, on Sun TV, we turn the spotlight on these hardworking market women, the silent pillars of their household, whose dedication ensures food reaches countless homes. Meet Hajara Adamu, a vendor at Gombe City's tomato and pepper market.
My name is Hajara Adamu, popularly known as Mama Nana. God has blessed our business. It is very good and lucrative. We have a strong relationship with our male counterparts. Most of the women here are widows or divorcees, while some of us are married. However, life is so difficult that it has become hard for our husbands to fend for the family alone. So we engage in this business to support them.
As a wife and mother, caring for her sick husband, Mama Nana added,
I have 9 children and my husband is suffering from a stroke. Through this business, we manage to pay for shelter, food and school fees for our children.
On the challenges they face in their business and how much they take home daily, she explained.
One of our biggest challenges is the high cost of produce, which makes customers complain bitterly. We cannot predict our daily earnings, but at least we manage to eat in the morning and evening and take care of some family needs.
Regarding how they balance work and family responsibilities, she revealed,
We come to the market as early as 6 a.m. Some of us close by 10 a.m., while others stay till 2 p.m.
women are strong and determined, but in every aspect of life in Africa, they need men's guidance, protection, and support. In Gombe's tomato and pepper market, the men stand firm in backing their female counterparts. Alhaji Sani Waya, chairman of the Gombe State Tomato and Pepper Association, affirmed the association's commitment to supporting women in the trade.
My name is Alhaji Sani Waya,
chairman of the Tomato and Pepper Association, Gombe State. We have a very good relationship with our female counterparts in this business because every woman you see here is striving to fend for her family. Some of them are widows, while others have husbands struggling financially due to life's challenges. Any woman with good intention to join this business, we support her by giving her produce, and by God's willing, she will make her own profit. Whether the women are succeeding in the business or not, the chairman had this to say. Many women who started in this trade with little capital have now bought plots of lands and built houses. Some have purchased tricycles, keke napep, to further support their families. Many of them operate with the full consent of their husbands, and some are even brought to the market by their husband in the morning. As Some TV continues to highlight grassroots stories, it is evident that Gombe's market women are not just traders, but key players in sustaining households and strengthening the local economy. Their resilience, coupled with the support from the men in their community, ensures that the hands that cultivate the land will always have something to harvest. Reporting for Some TV, Kamal Hamajo from Gombe.
Reports making rounds has it that the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has joined TikTok, urging supporters to follow his official account. Announcing this on X, he wrote, "This is my official and only TikTok page. Kindly join me in building a new Nigeria that is possible." Obi moves follows former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai TikTok's debuts last week, where he gained over 200,000 followers in 24 hours. El-Rufai stated his page will focus on politics and Social Democratic Party. Both politicians are leveraging the platform to engage the Nigerians, sidelining a grounded trend of political figures embracing social media for outreach. The House of Representatives has launched an investigation into the non-remittance of the 5% user charge meant for federal road maintenance. The probe, initiated by Frederick Agbedi, aims to track funds owed to the Federal Road Maintenance Agency and hold responsible officials accountable. Agbedi noted that despite legal provisions mandating the charge, the Default Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency failed to remit funds affecting the road infrastructure. The Nigerian Mainstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authorities, which replaced PPPR, has yet to enforce the charge, raising concerns over the neglect of road maintenance funding. Similarly, the House of Representatives has initiated an investigation into allegations that the Standards Organization of Nigeria reversed its decisions to shut down 18 companies involved in producing and distributing substandard building materials, particularly iron rods. Billy Osawaru, who raised the motion, emphasized the urgent need for SON to enforce quality standard and eliminate fake products. He cited data from the Building Collapse Prevention Guard, which recorded 47 building collapses in 2024, with Lagos State accounting for over half of the incidents. Concerns have been raised over the role of the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment in allegedly influencing SON's decisions on the mining regulatory enforcement. Lawmakers are pressing for strict oversight to curb the use of standard materials, which continues to contribute to deadly building collapses nationwide. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has sounded the alarm over an impending food crisis that could affect 47 million people in the region between June and August 2025 if immediate measures are not taken. Presenting an estimated 34.7 million people were already in urgent need of food and nutrition assistance. ECOWAS Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture, Mrs. Masagide, Tore Lise, raised these concerns during the third meeting of the Management Committee of the Regional Food Security Reserve. Speaking through Mr. Mohamed Zongo, Acting Executive Director of the Regional Agency for Agriculture and Food, she stressed the importance of enhancing emergency response mechanisms while also building long-term resilience to food insecurity. She noted that food and nutrition security in West Africa and the Sahel has significantly deteriorated in recent years, with acute malnutrition rates in severe areas ranging between 10% and 14%. Factors such as climate change, conflicts, economic instability, and weak agricultural productivity have contributed to the worsening crisis, highlighting the urgency of coordinated regional actions to prevent a full-scale humanitarian disaster. Governor Alex Otti of Abia State has signed the Abia State Electricity Bill into law, paving the way for enhanced energy regulation, investment, security, and power expansion in the state. The legislation, which originated from the executive, received swift passage by the Abia State House of Assembly before being signed in Novisi Isalawe, southern local government area. Oti highlighted that the law safeguards investment in Aba Power while granting the government regulatory authority. It also incorporates experts' input from 15 international power specialists and legal refinements by Banwo and Igodalo, a top Nigerian law firm. The governor emphasized Abia's unique ring-fenced power system covering 9 local government areas, with Aba Power Limited as an independent integrated power provider. Plans are on the way to integrate the remaining 8 local governments into a new Umahia ring fence, ensuring stable electricity across the state. The law prioritizes renewable energy, investor protection, and local capacity building. It also aligns with the Electricity Act of 2023, allowing Abia to establish its own regulatory framework through the Abia State Electricity Regulatory Authority, which will oversee the electricity markets and attract investment. Speaker of the House, Emmanuel Emerua, and Commissioner for Power, Ikechukwu Monday, hailed the legislation as a milestone in strengthening Abia's power, infrastructure, and position in the state as a hub for private sector-driven energy development. Nigeria's Minister for Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Uttev, has called for urgent action to tackle Africa's water security and sanitation challenges, citing slow progress towards the Africa Water Vision 2025. Speaking at the AMCAR West African Sub-Regional Meeting in Abuja, Uttev, represented by Permanent Secretary Richard Pawewa, highlighted inadequate financing as a major obstacle, with heavy reliance on official development assistance. He noted that 800 million Africans lack safe sanitation, while over 400 million lack access to clean drinking water. The minister warned that population growth and climate change would further strain resources and emphasized the need for innovative financing strategies. He affirms Nigeria's commitment to strengthening water security, sanitation, and food security, with plans for a national WASH policy. AMCAO Executive Secretary Dr. Rashid Mazura stressed the need for increased investment as it continued review progress in water goals and meeting provided a platform for West Africa to define its regional priorities for a post-2025 African Water Vision aligned with the AU's Agenda 2063. Now heading on to Kogi State, the Kogi State Vigilante Services have arrested 2 suspected cattle rustlers, Suleiman Isa and Sumaila, and handed them over to the police for further investigation. KSVS spokesperson Shaka stated that Isa was apprehended on Sunday at the Denkina-Omala border in Omala local government. During interrogation, he identified Sumaila, his alleged compliance, and boss, who was later arrested in Aigba. Both suspects, along with recovered exhibits, were transferred to the Nigerian Police Omala Division for further legal action. The KSVS commended local community support and reaffirmed its commitment to combating crime in the state. The Federal Capital Territory Minister Nelson Wike has revoked the land title of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) National Secretariat in Abuja, citing the party's failure to pay ground rent for 2 decades. According to a letter dated March 13 from the FCT Director of Land Administration, Chijoke Nwankweze, the PDP had defaulted on its annual ground rent payments from January 1st, 2006 to January 1st, 2025, despite multiple notices published in national newspapers and electronic media, urging property owners in the FCT to clear outstanding bills. The party failed to comply, invoking power vested in him by the Land Use Act. Wike ordered the revocation of PDP's right interest and privilege over plot number 243 in the Central Area Cathedral Zone AOO. The letter further stated that the property has now reverted to the Federal Capital Territory Administration, which will take immediate possession. This development comes amid Wike's border effort to enforce compliance with land regulations in Abuja, which have led to the revocations of thousands of titles due to non-payment of fees. Chief Sonny Onusoki, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party and former Delta State gubernatorial aspirant, has thrown his support behind Governor Sheriff Oberevure recent call for estate firms to reduce the cost of rent in the state. Governor's appeal was made during the 13th anniversary and annual convention of Property World African Network Marketing Company in Asaba, where he was represented by his chief of staff, Mr. Johnson Eju. The governor emphasized the urgent need for more affordable housing, particularly for the public service worker, noting that the continuous rise in rental costs has become unsustainable. He urged property owners to explore innovative strategies to make housing more accessible to residents. Owosoke, reacting to the governor's plea, extended the discussion beyond rent reduction to include the regulation of real estate agents and their fees. He pointed out that in many parts of Delta State, agent fees have become exorbitant, often surpassing reasonable limits. In Warri, for example, some agents charge fees ranging from 40% to 50% of the total rent, significantly increasing the financial burden on tenants. He criticized these practices as exploitative and urged the state government to take decisive action. To address these challenges, Osoke proposed that a law be enacted to cap agents' fee at a reasonable rate of 5% to 10% rate. He also recommended that the government invest in large-scale, low-cost housing projects to mitigate the housing crisis. Furthermore, he called for stricter oversight and regulation of estate agents to curb exploitative practices. He concluded by stressing that without intervention, the current real estate trend would continue to drive up living costs and deepen economic hardship for many residents of Delta State. The leadership of APM Terminal ASPA has engaged with the Oyo State government and agricultural commodities exporters and importers and exporters to address logistic challenges and promote the Apapa Moyiwa rail service. The meeting, attended by Oyo State Special Advisor Tilewa Folami and key industry stakeholders, included a rail trip from Ebute Metta to Monia, followed by discussions improving access to international trade for Nigerians in hinterland. APM terminal manager Steel Woodson highlighted the rail service role in ensuring reliable transportation for perishable agricultural goods. Denmark's Consul General Jets Bergeron emphasized her country's commitment in supporting Nigeria's agricultural value chain, particularly in cold chain logistics. Fulami outlined the Oyo State government's plans for infrastructure development, including road networks and an upcoming industrialization summit. Participants raised concerns about streamlining cargo bookings, cold storage, and improved data sharing to boost trade efficiency. The Apapa Monia Rail Service, launched in collaboration with the Nigerian Railway Corporation, currently operates thrice weekly, facilitating cargo movement between Lagos and Oyo State. The acting Vice-Chancellor of the Federal University of Health Sciences, Otukpo, Professor Stephen Obekpa, has announced emergency measures to address water shortage and power outage on campus. This follows a peaceful student protest over basic infrastructure challenges. At a meeting with students on Monday at the Otade campus, Professor Obekpa revealed that the Federal University Teaching Hospital, Otukpo, has approved the use of its water tanker for temporary relief. Additionally, the University Pro-Councillor authorized the purchase of a water tank, while TEF Fund indicated possible funding support for a long-time water infrastructure. To resolve power issues, the acting Vice-Chancellor directed the release of 150,000 to the Just Electricity Distribution Company for the restoration of electricity to the doctor's hostel. He acknowledged ongoing repairs to vandalized armored cables. Further measures include the formation of a sanitation committee comprising students and management, securing 7 million naira for a new hostel facility near the teaching hospital, procuring a bus to ease transportation, and a philanthropist pledged to donate another vehicle. Professor Obekpa also expressed support for the establishment of a student union and announced plans for a student management liaison committee to enhance communication. He assured students that the university was strengthening security measures. In response, Mercive Eji, a 400-level microbiology student, commended the acting Vice-Chancellor for his prompt intervention and engagement with students. We're taking a break for now. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with more exciting updates on Sun TV.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 247 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Sun TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Super Cab, safe, convenient, and affordable 247 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State.
back. We are glad you're still with us. Moving forward now. Concerning the reports of an explosion that has occurred at the Trans-Niger pipeline in Bodo, Bokana local government area of Rivers State, the Rivers State Police Command has confirmed the incident and assured residents of their safety. The affected pipeline, a 28-inch Trans-Nigerian pipeline leading to Boni, is operated by Shell Petroleum Development Company. According to reports, 9 security guards were on patrol when the incident happened on Monday night. Police spokesperson SP Grace Koko stated that security operative on the route patrol observed the fire and promptly alerted SPDC, which initiated safety measures, including shutting down the affected section of the pipeline. She confirmed the situation is now under control with no further threats to residents or their environment. The police have launched an investigation to determine the cause of the fire, and 2 individuals have been arrested for questioning. Authorities are yet to confirm whether the explosion resulted from a spill or an act of sabotage. The police command urged residents to remain calm and vigilant, reiterating its commitment to safeguarding lives and properties. The Kano State government has announced plans to conduct a pay parade for civil servants to verify the actual numbers of workers on its payroll and address discrepancies in salary payment. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf made this known after receiving the report of a special committee investigating complaints from workers over unexplained deduction in their February salaries. According to the governor, the exercise will help ascertain the exact number of employees and the amount paid per worker, ensuring that state resources are allocated efficiently. He emphasized that the initiative aims to eliminate ghost workers and improve transparency in salary disbursements. Secretary to the state government, Alhaji Farouk Umar, further explained that all civil servants must validate their matched salary before payments to prevent further discrepancies. Workers have been instructed through their respective ministries, departments and agencies to verify the salaries recorded in their names and report any irregularities for prompt action. To facilitate the process, salary lists will be displayed at strategic locations within M's commitment to ensuring a fair and transparent payroll system while addressing their concerns. The Cross River Council on Privatization has attributed the decline of oil palm estates in the state to years of neglect by past administrations and communal disputes. Director General of the Council, Mr. Basi Okun, disclosed this during a bid opening event for the privatization of the Ere Farm Settlement in Calabar. The Ere Farm Settlement, which includes the Ikun, Urubam, and Egbo oil palm estates in Baise local government area, has drawn interest from 2 investors, Eldal Farms Limited and Belavan Bas Limited. Okon emphasized the government's commitment to economic growth through private sector partnership and noted that revitalizing agro-allied estates remains a priority. He highlighted the estate originally established in 1961 under the Eastern Nigerian Development Corporation have suffered from reinvestment failure and lack of replanting, reducing their productivity. Governor Basio to administration, he added, is focused on job creation and sustainable development. Mrs. Cecilia Adie from the Due Process and Intelligence of Efforts, describing the initiative as key to unlocking Cross River's agricultural potentials. A violent clash between traditional worshippers and Muslim youth in Shimaka Community, Shandam local government area of Plateau State has left scores injured and numerous houses and shops destroyed. The unrest, which began on Sunday night, escalated into the early hours of Monday, forcing many residents, including women and children, to flee for safety. According to eyewitnesses accounts, the crisis erupted when a group of traditional worshippers performing a ritual process through the community encountered resistance from Muslim youth. While official casualties figures remain unconfirmed, local sources report significant injuries among the affected residents. Security agencies have since been alerted, but tension remains high in the community. As of the time of reporting this, the Plateau State Police Public Relations Officer, Mr. Alfred Alabo, had yet to provide an official statement regarding the incident. However, Major Samson Zakum, spokesperson for the Operation Safe Haven, the multiple security task force responsible for maintaining peace in the state, assured the security authorities were closely monitoring the situation and working towards restoring calm. Residents have called on the government and security agencies to intervene swiftly to prevent further escalation and ensure lasting peace in a troubled community. That is all for this edition of News Hour from Some TV. Before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. Tinubu declares state of emergency in Rivers State, suspends governor and lawmakers. Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has officially joined TikTok and urged supporters to follow his verified accounts. And ECOWAS has raised concerns over the potential food crisis that could impact 47 million people in West Africa between June and August 2025 if urgent measures are not taken. You can also follow us on Facebook at Sun TV and on YouTube at Sun TV Live. My name is Mercy Joro. Goodbye for now.